Hi everyone, so today's tutorial is going to be on inflammation. So inflammation is a biological response to harmful stimuli. And there are many different causes. So you can have biological stimuli, so if we're infected with a bacteria or a virus, or you can have chemical stimuli such as irritants, and also physical stimuli. So if you burn or you cut yourself, this will also trigger an inflammatory response. And ultimately, the aim of inflammation is to eliminate whatever the initial cause of injury was. Inflammation is a generic response and is therefore considered as a mechanism of the innate immune system and not the adaptive immune system. So there were first descriptions of inflammatory processes found in Egyptian records, but the first proper description of inflammation came in the 1st century AD, and this was by a Roman physician called Celsus. So he described 4 classic signs of inflammation: redness, heat, swelling, and pain. And then a 5th sign, loss of function, was added to these at a later date. So these are collectively known as the 5 cardinal signs of inflammation. So although these signs were documented well before we had the ability to understand what was actually going on, of course science has advanced a lot and we're now actually able to understand what is happening and what's causing all of these different signs. So under normal conditions, our blood vessels have very tightly packed endothelial cells, and this is to contain the red and white blood cells that are circulating in our blood. However, when we injure ourselves, the area is likely to become inflamed. This causes our blood vessels to dilate, which means that they get wider. It also causes them to become leaky because the endothelial cells are less tightly packed. And the reason for this is to try and increase blood flow to the area so that more white blood cells can reach the injured tissue. So blood is usually carried around at our core body temperature. So when it comes rushing to the surface, it causes the area to become much hotter than normal. So in order for these cells to exit the bloodstream and migrate into the damaged tissue, the blood vessels have to become more permeable. So rather than being nicely packed together, they loosen and become quite leaky. But as a consequence of this, they also let a lot of plasma and fluids into the surrounding area, and that's what causes the swelling. So the final 2 signs are pain and loss of function. So pain will often occur if the damage occurs at the surface. For instance, if you get a cut, it will be painful. This is because our skin is covered with lots of pain-sensitive nerve endings, and these will send signals to our brain. And of course, this is useful because it helps to let us know that we've hurt ourselves, and then we can try and remove ourselves from that danger. So the loss of function sign might not always be present, but it could come as a result of pain and swelling, which could lead to some immobility. So as I said at the beginning, inflammation is there to try and eliminate any harmful stimuli. And it's a very active process that occurs in a time-dependent manner. So at the beginning of an inflammatory response, you get a huge rush of neutrophils. However, once they've done their job, the body should start to think about resolving itself and trying to get everything back to normal. So this is when you should get a big influx of macrophage cells, which can clean up any cellular debris and dead neutrophils. This part of the inflammatory response is known as resolution, and it's also an active process. So both inflammation and resolution involve cells of the innate immune system. However, if resolution does not occur for some reason, then inflammation can become chronic, and this is when you would likely end up with the activation of the adaptive immune system. And at this point, inflammation is likely to be systemic or internal, and if it's left untreated or managed, chronic inflammation can actually persist for many years. So thank you for listening to my latest tutorial, and if you like my videos, please don't forget to subscribe to my channel and check out my Instagram or Twitter page linked in the comments below if you wanted to check out more about what I do. Thank you.